What's up, people? I'm Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie, and today I'd like to talk about, take a minute or two, or I'm going to guess 8, maybe 9 by the time I'm done, to discuss Eddie Hazel's solo album, the only solo album he put out during his lifetime. The guitar player for Funkadelic, Parliament, the P-Funk world that existed while he was alive. Passed away in 92. There were some albums released after he passed away. But he released one solo album when he was alive, back in 1977. Ostensibly a Funkadelic, a P-Funk album. Bernie's on it. Bootsy's on it. You got Hampton's guitar players. Hampton's on it. Scheider's on it. Goins is on it. Drummers. I mean, it's essentially a Funkadelic album. Kind of sounds a little like P-Funk. It's not. There are moments which are hardcore Funkadelic, moments which are a little more Parliament. For the most part, it's like a P-Funk album. But yeah, it's a good album. 7 songs, 3 of them covers, a couple instrumentals that almost have give me sort of a Jeff Beck fusion vibe from the 70s, but with like a funkier edge to them. But yeah, a really good album with lots and lots and lots of really tasty guitar playing. There's 4 guitar players on here, and I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly when Hazel's playing guitar, when Hampton's playing guitar, when Scheider's playing guitar, or when Goins are playing guitar. All I know is whenever anybody's playing guitar, it's always really good guitar playing. The album opens up with a cover of California Dreaming, the Mama and the Papa song. I can't say that this is, like, you cannot recognize the melody of California Dreaming. Like, if I was just listening to this song and not paying very close attention to the lyrics, I don't think I would say, oh, that's a cover of California Dreaming. It's got a really nice funk R&B vibe. There's this little bit of a reggae undercurrent there that's just kind of driving it at times. Like, they're not leaning into it too hard, but it feels like there's a little bit of a little reggae vibe going on. I do think the melody of the vocals is just kind of lost, though the vocals are there. And there's just absolutely incredible guitar playing throughout the entire thing. Like, most of these songs, there's guitars throughout the entire thing. Riffs, licks, somebody soloing in the background. Just a lot of fantastic guitar playing. I might say that a couple more times. But yeah, it's a really strong start to the album. Kind of like not too aggressive, but funky, kind of chill, kind of laid back. Just a really nice, good, tasty groove. The next song is called Frantic Moment. Not frantic at all. Maybe they're singing about a frantic moment. We got some sort of like Parliament type vocals going on in this thing. We got a nice like weird little like psych noises, maybe even some like backward masking going on very beginning of the song before this kind of like just kind of chill, a little more laid back than the opening track kind of groove drops. Eddie's just kind of soloing throughout this entire thing. Nice little like R&B vibe to it, like a 90s R&B vibe. R&B, why does that sound weird? Arby's, a nice R&B vibe to some of the vocals. Kind of a really abrupt fade out. It's like a 3.5 minute song. The fade out just kind of comes like, oh, okay, song's over. Nice little song, nice little moment. Not frantic, but nice chill song. Then song number 3, So Goes the Story. That's when things get kind of really cool and really interesting. Starts off with one of those more like confident, steadier, slower kind of funk grooves that both Parliament and Funkadelic did so well. And then some kind of weird, arty, proggy vocals where things are getting a little bit frantic and a little bit weird. And then we get this just awesome tempo shift, and we just go into this whole other groove that's the whole rest of the song is just kind of crazy, kind of all over the place. It's 4 minutes of probably the more proggy, at times psyche, and the approach to the music songs on here. But really good. I think the highlight of the album, 3 songs into it, the first 2 songs set up the album nicely and bring you in and like make you feel welcome. And then this is the song where things just kind of go weird and kind of get a little more creative, a little more artsy. After that, they do a cover of the Beatles' I want you, she's so heavy. Um, and it's just fantastic. The beginning of it, it almost seems a little slower and a little more cautious and a little more just pronounced in the grooves. Like that Beatles version is really like dun, dun, really kind of sneaky, the whole thing. This one has kind of a like they're bringing like a bigger feel to it. But then as it goes on and the song kind of unfolds, it really starts to loosen up a little, and that funk groove just kind of gets in there a little bit more, soloing throughout the entire thing. This sounds like I Want You, She's So Heavy. There's no mistake that this is a cover of that song, but just as it goes on, it just becomes funkier and looser. And that last section, which is probably twice as long here as it is on the Beatles version, with that just awesome bass line and the kind of that repetitive dun, 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 and in the background they're going, she's so heavy. That hypnotic psych ending here, it is just ridiculous. The bass playing on here is insane. The drumming on here is insane. And all the while they're doing that closing like section of I Want You, She's So Heavy, the guitars are just going off. But the bass, the bass is fantastic on this. It's either Bootsy, Billy Bass Nelson, or Cordell Masson. Whoever's playing bass on this, they're bringing it. Probably the peak of this album, I think. You got the California Dreamin' Frantic opening, the peak. I think like the main the entree. We got appetizers. We got the main entree. It's that So Goes the Story. I Want You, She's So Heavy. Like 14 minutes, right in the heart of the album. And then the last two songs are instrumentals. I'm assuming Bootsy Collins is the bass player on the next one because it's a cover of the Bootsy Collins solo album, the song Physical Love. This is an instrumental song. Has like a very 70s feel. This feels like a 70s funk, poppy, slightly fusion-y vibe. Great keyboard work. Just a really nice, 5.5 minute instrumental, nice guitar playing, nice grooves, nice vibe. The next song is called What About It? This is another instrumental jam that has some ridiculous bass playing in it. Again, the drums, almost like that James Brown, just give the drummer some, kind of like that tight, cleaner sound. Not a lot of crazy funk stuff going on, just like a tightly wound funk jam. This one of all of them is the one that gives me the Jeff Beck vibes more than anything. Like 70s, late 70s, post Beck Bogart a piece type instrumental, blow by blow, wired, that kind of thing. A little bit looser, a little bit freer, a little bit funkier, but I get that sort of 70s fusion vibe in some of this. And then the last song is a reprise, a short little less than 2 minute reprise of California Dreamin', in which that reggae, that leaning into the reggae, seems like it's a little more pronounced as they lean into this. But yeah, that's it. It's a short little album, 7 songs. I think it's like just under 40 minutes long, 38 minutes long. The only one he released. It's just a really, really good, tasty listen. The guitars are so tasty. It's just absolutely fantastic. I do want to say it probably has one of the greatest album covers of all time. That album cover is the definition of swag right there. Let's throw some more random images on there and just commit to this idea even more. Love the album cover. He doesn't have any other albums that he released in his lifetime. There were things that were released after he passed away. If I were to rank this among the Funkadelic albums, just because I do think this would more in line with Funkadelic than Parliament, it would be right around pretty high in the list. There's 15. This would make it 16 if I included this in the list. I'd have it around 5 or 6. Right up there around Hardcore Jollies or Uncle Jam Wants You. To me, it's that kind of vibe where the guitar playing, that energy is sort of the thing that's the draw. The band is fantastic. The bass and drums are fantastic. Every musician on here is fantastic. But it is one of those albums in which it's that guitar playing that's the draw that draws you in. So if I were to include this in my Funkadelic ranking, which I did a video for that earlier this week, it'd be right around Hardcore Jollies, Uncle Jam Wants You, like the 5 or 6 spot, 7 maybe somewhere in that area. But I would say the top half of their catalog is a really good album. Yeah, it's yeah, it's fantastic. Really good guitar playing on this. But anyways, something I have nowhere near listened to a lot enough in my life, and now that it is back in my life, I will be revisiting it much more often than I had previously. Might replace something on that Funkadelic list. It's going to bump some things down I probably won't listen to as much. But anyways, yeah, really good listen. And it's on YouTube. That's why I was able to track it down. I tried to buy it on decades ago, or not decades ago, maybe a couple years ago. I don't know. I think it was around 2014, right? Right after they dropped that their last album. I tried to find this on Discogs. Maybe it was like 2018 when Parliament dropped theirs. It was like right before COVID. And it was like a couple $100, like $200 or $300 for the vinyl of this. So I never did get it, but it is on YouTube, and I highly recommend you check it out because it's really good. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this album. Let me know if you check it out, all that kind of stuff. And that's all I got for now. Thanks. Peace. Talk to you later.